Hello and welcome, all our viewers, reviewers, and everyone else who just stumbled upon this video. This is the ALX pitch for our final portfolio project. If you don't know what ALX is, it is an online school for tech programs, and I will link their website in the description if this is on YouTube. And without further ado, our project is called Fresh Fetch, and let's get into it. So let's talk about the team members. First, we have the front-end engineers, the amazing, talented Brian Kibugi and Njuguna. Then we have me, Benoni Esckinder. Then we have the back-end engineers, the hardworking, the capable Ridwan, Dada. And then we have the awesome, the amazing uche, Nweke. That's our team. Now let's get into the description. If you're wondering, what does your project actually do? Well, here's an answer. The goal of this project is to enable users to order groceries and get them delivered to their homes, or wherever they want, but realistically, where else would you get the groceries delivered other than your home, right? Yeah. So it will have some of the following features. It will have a homepage for unauthenticated user experience. It will have a produce page for users to browse through our products. It will have a basket for users to store all the produce they want to buy, and it will have an orders dashboard for vendors to keep track of all pending orders. Learning objectives. Let's see. We should be able, or we should have an idea of how to do the following things at the end of this project. We should be able to design and build an attractive, user-friendly web app. This is mostly a front-end responsibility. Store and retrieve information on users, produce, and vendors. This is a back-end responsibility. And build an API that can bridge the gap between front-end and back-end, designed by different people. So this has to do with API design. This is a back-end responsibility. And finally, consume APIs and display data in a user-friendly way, mostly a front-end responsibility. Technologies used. We will be using the following programming languages. HTML, if you count HTML as a programming language, which it really isn't, but whatever. CSS, JavaScript, this will be from the front end, and we will have Python for the back end. Here are some of the libraries and frameworks we will be using. We will be using React for the front end, we will be using Django for the back end, and then we will be using Jest or React testing library for testing the front end, and we will most likely be using Python's unit test module for testing the back end. Here are some of the challenges we've already identified. First one is specifying only the necessary features of the MVP. So if you're doing anything from scratch, you know that specifying the features of the MVP, what it actually needs to have, and then being disciplined and sticking to those features and not, losing focus is quite difficult. How we decided to tackle this challenge is by having multiple meetings and deciding exactly what it's going to look like and what it's going to do, at least the first version of the app. We have it all defined, and hopefully we have solved this problem. And the second one is designing the front end and back end so that they work together seamlessly. So the issue with having multiple teammates, and especially if you're new, is that sometimes you lose communication, and the front end kind of does whatever they want, and the back end does whatever they want, and it ends up clashing, and things happen in the front end that can't be supported by the back end, and things happen in the back end that can't really be displayed in the front end. And how we have decided to tackle this issue is, on the front end side, we've already made the designs, so the back end team knows what to expect, and our gracious backend team, our amazing backend team, have made a document of all their API endpoints. So we, the front end team, me and Brian, know exactly what to expect from the backend team. Schedule of work. So let's take a quick look of what our Trello board looks like. So this was made by me, your gracious presenter, pitcher. So first things first, we have to complete separate development. At this point, we should be done with developing our respective sides of the web app. So the front-end side should be completed by the front-end team, and the back-end side should be completed by the back-end team. And the front-end development is complete when all the coding, aka development, is done, and then all the unit testing and front-end integration testing is complete, and the same for backend. So everything in the front end works fine and everything in the backend works fine, but nothing is integrated yet. So this task will take us, our estimation will be that it will take us from June 18, that is today, Tuesday, up to June 23, I think Sunday, if I'm not mistaken. The deadline is exactly at 6 p.m. June 23. The next task is to integrate the front end and the back end. This is where our stunning front end clashes with our robust back end. We have to make sure that everything works well and there are no issues in transfer or in data transfer. So requests and responses are being handled properly and there are no errors in the console when trying to fetch or retrieve data or send data. So this task will begin at June 24 and it will end at June 26, 6 p.m. So sometime, I think Monday through Wednesday, if I'm not mistaken, this is the timeline we expect to finish this task in. And then the next one, we have to finalize testing. So everything to do with testing must be complete within this deadline. All unit testing, all integration testing, and some form of manual testing has to be done between June 27 and June 30 at 6 p.m. So we've done our development, we've integrated our things, we finalized the testing. What else could be left, right? We have to deploy it so you guys can actually use it. So this is where we will host our project online for everyone to see. We need to find a hosting service, we need to deploy the project, and then we need to do a little bit of manual testing on the deployed project, make sure that everything is where it's supposed to be and it's similar to the development phase. And the time allocated for this is June 29 to July 4, but realistically we want to finish earlier than July 4 so we have time to get it reviewed and checked out by our reviewers and mentors and whoever wants to check it out. So that is what our schedule looks like. These are the things we plan to do. These are the things we are working on. And these are the things we are finished with, which is nothing because we're just getting started. So moving on, let's look at a few mockups. So these are mobile designs of our web app. So this is our produce page. It has, as you can see, a bunch of produce. It has tomatoes, it has gingers, it has onions. As you can see, there's a nice looking image, there's the name of the produce, and there's the price per pound, and then there's a vendor, and then you have the option to order now, which takes it directly, which sends the order directly without, putting it in your basket, or you can add to basket where you can store it, and then you can order multiple things at once. So let's look at this basket page. As you can see, you can order everything that's in your basket. You can take a look at all the pending orders you have. You can confirm the order, which means you've received the delivery, or you can cancel, which will usually come with a cancellation fee. And then you have the price per pound, and then you can specify the quantity of how much of this particular order you want to have. And then we can take a look at the order summary. We have the subtotal, the delivery fee, the tax fee, and then the total fee. And then finally, we have the vendor dashboard where you can fulfill an order, a pending order. It will be en route until the user confirms it. Once the user confirms delivery, it will be marked as completed and it will eventually disappear from here. And this is how vendors will be able to handle all their orders. Thank you. I hope you enjoyed this. If you're a viewer, please give me a good score or not. If you loved it or hate it, if this is on YouTube, let me know what you think in the comments, and keep your eyes open for possible demos that might be coming your way. So stay on the lookout for that. I will see you guys on the next one. Peace.